Hello again.
Right.
If you go hopscotch, but take it twice as far, to take it to where like the next white dashed line is after the one you've just gone to.
Back at Loughborough today, doing some drill and mobility work. We do this every Thursday. It kind of phases through the year as to what the content of it is, but there's normally like a mobility component, there's an activation component, and there's some semi-structured drills as to which, like when we're earlier in the year, it's a bit more instructional. At this point in the year, they kind of, most of them know what they're doing and know how to tweak it for themselves. And so it's about keeping it going, keeping that checkpoint in the week, and then we'll put a decent plyometric element on the end, which has got some bounding, some hops, and then some fast strides on the end, just to keep everything lower leg wise in good health.
Did you see that Molly May watched the first YouTube video? Liv was fucking mental, wasn't it?
I couldn't believe it. She knew who we were. I asked her for a photo because she came to watch
Molly May was watching.
And she was like, yeah, of course. And she went, oh, I know who you guys are. I've watched the thing on TV. And I was just like, oh my God.
Well, so we can see the difference.
Yeah, you might give it feedback on you.
That's probably something I learned from the London Marathon, is that you can't cheat this mileage. You gotta do the running miles, put them in. I'm gonna try and do as much as I can with other people, try and learn from them as much as I can, but also keep my triathlon identity very much in my training. The fact that I can be a little bit more open-minded, I can keep evolving, I can keep learning. So if I am speaking to somebody and uncover something which I think would be quite powerful for me or quite beneficial for me, I will bring it to Adam and see what his thoughts are. Particularly going to Leeds and seeing what Phil's done has definitely opened my eyes to slightly different training philosophies, and I've taken some of them, I've maybe acknowledged some of them and maybe not taken them up. So I think that, yeah, that's a great thing, to be able to take a step back and look at your training, but also other people's training from a different perspective. And hopefully that will pay dividends when I come back to triathlon, but also, yeah, just allow me to, I guess, grow as an athlete as well.
Walk or something.
Yeah.
They're not there for like pure speed and turnover. They're there just to get your mechanics going again post race. So you decide whether you want 6 to 8. But I'm not really bothered what the speed is. Start thinking they're like 5k, but be at 3k.
Yeah, by the end. Okay.
Yeah. So he's pretty fit at the moment, but we've been going after 5k run speed, really. We're kind of treating it as 2 different blocks. There's a half marathon prep block through to Valencia half, then there'll be a marathon block through to the marathon, which really, by getting ready for each of those stepping stones, he'll be ready for the marathon at the end, but with a view to the work that needs to be done and some of the lessons that we learned from London and some of the content that we need to be in there. If we just treat it as one long thing, it sometimes lacks a little bit of focus and purpose.
Very exciting. Thank you, mate. Outside? Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
When did you feel it pinch?
It was just more when I was doing drills, I could just feel like it was a little bit tighter through that side than the other. Yeah, actually, where actually is yours?
I'm going to take mine home.
Yeah, surely just roll it outside the front of your house and then it can be...
On the side of the house, yeah.
I'll lie down on that side.
This side, yeah.
Yep. So you're going to lie flat. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'll be back in work in like 20 minutes.
And relax.
And then now we're going
3, 2, 1, go.
He's
Good. That's good. We'll do your version.
Hasn't come in.
And relax. Good. Well done. I bet I'll compare it to
one nice
the last ones.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah, happy with that. No, it's been good to use physio as much for like, instead of it being I guess like a cure thing, like a preventative measure as much as anything as well. So making sure I am standing on the start line pretty confident that hopefully next time my body will get through it absolutely fine. So yeah, it's important to kind of have that experience, I think, to learn for Valencia as well, in a way. So hopefully the work will be done.
Hopefully, I'm sure.
Otherwise I'll be upset. But I definitely feel like I've been very blessed to be given a gift in a way of being able to have this talent to be able to run, to be able to swim and bike. And I want to make the most of it, I think. And I don't know if that comes from inside me or comes from kind of family values or where I was brought up, but I think it's been something which has always been inside of me in a way. Ever since I started the sport of triathlon, I remember very, very vividly my first triathlon event, not being able to ride up one of the hills, and my main desire to go back was to go and ride up that hill and to be better at that. And that constant desire to improve throughout that, I think has always kept me coming back to sport, and yeah, always kept me pushing on to be the best person I can be. There's nothing bad about physio.
Careful.
Yeah.
Still got some
Some
I can run over. Go on.
There's nothing bad about physio.
Good.
I think it's all... Physio's only shit when you're like actually injured and then you have to hear about how long it's going to take to come back or something. So like, it was a bit frustrating over the period straight after the marathon, because you're in the gym like 5-6 times a week instead of running. And that was a little bit frustrating, but I'm so lucky that I'm able to have, access to Pauline and, the help of UKSI and everyone like that to sort everything out when I do have something like that, because who knows if I would even be running by now anyway, if it was just me by myself. Initially I thought I broke my foot, so when it first happened, so I'm pretty pleased, not that first of all, but also I've got the right guidance. You're a natural.
Yeah, you owe me a coffee.
Yeah, deal. Cheers, Dan. Enjoy Australia.
Just had surgery on my hand, mate. We've just done a load of testing on.
I saw you in the wind tunnel, weren't you? And then.
Yeah, but we found some really cool stuff for you, mate.
Wow. And is this potential for World Series as well?
Yeah, World Series soon, right?
Yeah, I love
So what we found is this fabric.
that's a nice little hex pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's really narrow.
Yeah.
So if you go sleeveless or you go sleeved, it's there to work.
Oh, so it doesn't matter if
But it swims really fast, and we're not quite sure why.
Cool.
It's completely thrown us.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
What's it come from, the material?
It's come from one of the mills in Italy, and we just said, send us any 3D woven stuff that you've got. And I'd like to get you in the tunnel. We found Sean 30 plus watts.
Really? Wow.
Just on road bike position, hoods, and where to hold and when to hold.
Your recommendation would be to have as much coverage as possible everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. But it'd be great to validate that in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So you can see sleeve versus non-sleeve, then see the benefit in the pool. I want to show you this as a concept. More of a, if we put this concept into a training suit and then change the tension in your core, and then found a core that really was faster and suited you.
So this would be like a way of like finding your perfect size.
Yeah.
That's genius.
And then I can get that taken out and put into one of your suits, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Have you tested it on the MAD system? Did it come up any?
It's
It's not been pool tested at all.
Yeah.
No, this hasn't.
I'd be interested to see if that has no effects at all.
That's where we're at, mate.
Mate, exciting.
I thought we'd let you know, and then we'll go from there.
For me, I think, if I'm being honest, there was probably no plan B. I just loved what I was doing. I loved my sport, and I just wanted to constantly master my trade in a way. And yeah, maybe that meant that I wasn't as focused as I maybe should have been in school. I would say I was a fairly average student, but I'd always kind of come alive. My eyes would light up once school had finished and I was able to travel up to Crystal Palace and go and train and swim or run or whatever it may be, because that was, in a way, my social time, my time where I felt like I was most alive.
We're going to get in groups as well as do the session in groups. This is not a day for us hanging around once we're in the water. It's 17.1, so when we're doing the main set you should be fine, but we don't really want much floating around. So there is a possibility if someone is floating around somewhere, we may start a rep without them. Please don't take any offence to that, it's just to keep everybody else warm.
Then back.
You got a little peek. Oh no, I'm not.
Sorry, give me a little shot.
Yeah, it's for the insulation, mate. That's why.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Thanks, bro.
VO2 back to this orange.
To be fair, it is horrendous. Oh, when are we off?
Whatever.
5.
It's not fucking warm.
I think it's like a long way.
Your fault.
It's not warm.
Oh, bless him, that t-shirt. It's always down to his knees. Oh, that's a pig. That's the boys together.
I mean, he was always relatively clever and clever enough to get through until kind of like it got to A levels, I think, you know. So he managed to do enough to get through so that he could do other things. I don't think either him or Joseph really enjoyed much of the real academic stuff. I think it was, you know, they went to school for other reasons, like school, like friends and their opportunities to play sport or kick a stone around in the playground or something, you know. So he did well at GCSEs, and then he failed his first year of A levels. That's back in the time when they used to do ASs, so he did really badly in his ASs. So they actually, that year, the school let quite a lot of kids in his year go, but they kept him on because they said, oh, it's because you've been so focused on your sport, that's obviously why you've not done so well, you know. So they gave him a little bit of a lifeline there. Whether that was actually the case, I don't know.
This one is, I think it was the World Championships in Cali, where Alex did the 3,000 metres, I think. So this was coming back from Alex running the mini marathon one year, and we got outside the shops in down by the station, and there was this podium here. I'm not quite sure why. So the kids all stood on the podium, obviously with Alex with his have a go medal in the middle. So that would have been one of the first times that he did that. What we got here, this was the first time Alex did the IRCs down in South Wales when he was very, very little. That was the first year that he was, I think he's 11 there, so he just started at secondary school. And I think it was the year that they, somebody actually said to him, oh, you know, if you do an extra race in the London League, you might actually get a place in the IRC. So he did, and he did.
I think it was probably at primary school, and it was probably, you know, I suppose netball was the first thing after swimming. Of course, swimming. You know, they went. I started to take him swimming when he was like 4 months old. We did the aqua babies thing, you know, where you do the underwater swimming and that when they're tiny. So yeah, they swam. All of the kids swam from when they were babies. Didn't like being confined, didn't like sitting still very much when he went to nursery and when he was first at school. Anything sitting down was kind of like not his bag at all. So sport, anything sport, anything active, yeah, he loved.
think she'd say that, yeah, I was probably fairly normal growing up, but yeah, energetic, probably misbehaving a little bit, but yeah, probably mischievous, but in a fairly loving way towards my family. And yeah, I definitely come to her as a sounding board whenever I have a concern or a thought, or maybe something creeps up in my mind which I want to get off my chest. I think to have somebody like her, to have someone like Liv, to have those people that you can kind of have that moment of being vulnerable, I think is extremely important, to have those people in your life. And yeah, being extremely lucky to have her, to have that sounding board.
You know, Alex and I have talked a lot about, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, and we very much feel that, you know, there was a lot of people that had involvement with him, helping him along the way, lots of friends, lots of, you know, school and church and the community who have been involved in that, and I think there's little bits from everywhere, you know.
Only you know how warm or cold you are, how to get some form of swim on. Go the same way round the loop that you went in the warm-up. Either do a full lap of what we did in the warm-up without the paces, or turn right at the first orange, across, and back. Yep.
Chilly, but good. Yeah, hard work when it's cold, but it's good fun. We're able to swim 3 times a week, which is pretty good. So it's getting a bit colder now, but yeah, nice to be in with such a big group. It pushes you and yeah, humbles you at the same time as well. So it's good.
Yeah. You hop in, Brett. Get yourself warm. Are they my shoes? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. Everything just got shut.
So they're not on the
everywhere.
on the way.
I'm still running.
I have
Doing it myself.
Oh my goodness. Probably winning the Olympics. Get emotional again. I think just because it was just so astonishing, that bit at the end. I think he really struggles with people wanting to know about him, and I think because he is so focused on his sport, some of the stuff that goes around the periphery, I think he finds quite difficult. You're having to come away from your main focus in order to engage with media or engage with other people. And it's not that he doesn't want to do those things, but I think sometimes it's difficult. And we've had to learn when we go to races, for example, that we generally don't contact him. And then at other times, you know, all the kind of like the community stuff or the Lewisham to the World stuff is fantastic and he loves it. But not when I'm focusing on a race. You know, I'm focusing on a race today, I'm focusing on that on another day. When we did the triathlon with the kids last year, it was just fantastic. He was 100% there and he was loving it as much as the kids were loving it. You could just, he could have been one of the kids. I always feel really proud, you know, as I do with all my children, with anything that they achieve it. You just feel, yeah, a real sense of pride. And I think particularly like with Alex, what Alex is doing now, I know how much hard work goes into it. And you know, we'd all love those accolades, those gold medals, but I really wouldn't want his job. You know, it's he loves what he does, but it's 24/7.
My mum's quite quiet in a way. I'm sure if it came to it, she would be she could fight, but she's always been very kind of never made herself the biggest person in the room, always, you know, thought about others before herself. And I think you probably only realise those amazing traits about your parents now when you look back on it. As a child, you're probably just kind of going through life and not realising how many sacrifices somebody like someone like my mum has made